Alright, hold on. Fuck, messed up. Alright. So, here we go again. We got Intruder from 1989. It stars Sam Raimi, sort of. Ted Raimi, sort of. Bruce Campbell, not really. Renee Estevez, not really. And it's a slasher film from the late 80s there. And it was a slasher movie that I thought was pretty good until the ending. And then I was like, nope. Why'd you have to do that? In fact, I've come up with a solution to this ending, and if I have a time, I will tell you about it at this review. But the story is that there's this guy named Craig, who is the ex-boyfriend of our main final girl, Jennifer. And he shows up and starts harassing her because he wants to get back together with her, because every guy knows you want to get back with your ex, you harass them at their place of business, where they work. And she works at this grocery store. And that's what I like about this movie, is that it's one of the only slashers, or horror movies for that matter, that I've seen that takes place at a grocery store. Like, there's My Buddy Valentine 3D, there's that scene where they're at the grocery store. But this entire movie takes place at a grocery store. Much like Clerks, they filmed it at night and did it over several nights. And there's things you notice, like the TV guide's changing. But one thing is they actually have it take place at night, where Clerks didn't actually take place at night, except for like the last act. But here, the entire thing is at night. So after, people get the boyfriend to leave, he starts harassing them with phone calls. Her with phone calls. And then they call the cops, and the cops are no use because they can't find him, and then people start to die. And so you start to believe that it is Craig killing people. And there's some pretty good kills in this. Sam Raimi gets put on a hook. Sam Raimi and Ted Raimi have bigger roles than Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell only has a minor cameo as a cop at the end of the film. But the DVD and Blu-ray release will have you believe otherwise, as they are both front and center. It says Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi on the front. They're not the stars. What other kills are there? There's a gnarly kill where some face gets like underneath the thing, and someone gets cut in half, and then when someone finds the body, there's a sign on it that says, as advertised, half off. I kind of laughed at that. That was kind of funny. Characters in this film are all right. They're not like well explored. At this point in the 80s, you didn't need a story for a slasher. You just needed a place for it to take place and people dying, and that's what it was. People were getting killed. There's somewhat of a story. Motive is kind of thrown out the window. There is a motive, and if you really pay attention, you'll figure out who it is from who the first victim really is. Well, not Renee Estevez, the one after that. Actually, Renee Estevez is the second. Has to be the second one, because the killer says he killed Danny and then got carried away. So yeah, the owner of the store tells the night crew after Craig is taken out that he's going to close the store. And so they're all going to lose their jobs. And then you have Bill, the co-owner, who only has 49%, and Bill has 51%. So, Danny has 51%, so Danny has to say. Danny is the first person killed. So that kind of gives it away. I think it's either him or Renee Estevez's character, but one of them gives it away. And Bill is absent from the entire thing. We're made to believe he left, maybe, but people are getting killed. There's this one guy that's really annoying. Oh, Tim, hey, Tim. Tim, shut up. And why does it get, what are you doing back there, Tim? Is that Tim? What are you doing? That's how he talks. Is that how the actor actually talked, or did they tell him to talk like that? Because that's annoying as fuck. I'm telling you. And then you have, like I said, there's some pretty good kills in here. Like I said, Sam Raimi's head put on a hook. It cuts away, but then it shows the after effect going through. And yeah, one of the guys goes back there, and the meat grinder, the meat slicer, is going by itself. Just, that's not how meat slicers work. My grandpa had a meat slicer. You have to push it to get it to work. It doesn't move back and forth by itself. So I don't think it does. Not the one my grandpa had. It looked almost identically to this one. So, this all leads to maybe the big finale thing where, was it named Chris? Or something like that. He's the bag boy or something. He's the first one to come to her defense earlier in the film when Craig was attacking. He sees Craig sneaking up on her, and boy, does he take forever to do that. Because he sees her, and he goes to leave it, and he gets killed. And it still takes forever for Craig to show up. And then Craig is there, and they have a little fight, and she knocks him unconscious. Like, stabs him or something and knocks him unconscious. And he thinks it's over, and then Bill comes out from nowhere. And, look, I don't know if this was if they filmed at different points, but when he comes out and, puts his arm around her with a hug and like, okay, everything's okay, he doesn't have anything on his hands. No blood, nothing. Not that I saw. Not that I don't think I was really paying that much attention, but to me it didn't look like there was any blood. And all of a sudden she's covered in on her hands, and you look and he's got shit on his arm, and I'm like, I didn't see that before. She didn't either, so maybe that's the thing. You're not supposed to notice it at first. But then all of a sudden, oh, it's Bill. And this, to me, starts the downward spiral of this film. I'm going to continue, but I'll tell you, So Craig wakes up and starts to help her, and eventually they subdue Bill and stab him, supposedly killing him. And then the cops show up and immediately arrest both Craig and Jennifer. Like, you're under arrest, put your hands up. Now, Craig, I understand. And he's part of my ending. But Craig, I understand. But Jennifer was the one being harassed earlier. Why would she be an accomplice? It's very known that she wanted nothing to do with him. The cops in this movie are fucking stupid. And to add to it, Bill's still alive. He pops up. They did it. They killed everyone. They did it. He's fucking lying. Shut up. They did it. And it's just like, we're really doing this, really? And they get arrested. But it's just ridiculous ending too. Like, get arrested. She turns around into the camera and goes, ah, and then it ends. I'm like, why is she screaming? Like, Bill is still laying there. Why is she screaming? I don't know. My ending would have been a lot better. Leave it up to the imagination. So, you have them all killed. It's down to Bill. Well, you get to the point where that one guy is killed. And then you have... But instead of having him see Craig and then get killed, we have him not see Craig. He goes up and he's looking around. He finds a dead body. He goes back down to warn her, and then he's killed, dispatched by someone. And you have, or you can have him be the final guy too if you want. He can get, but he's not necessary, to be honest. And then you have Craig show up and go after her, and he's trying to explain something, but he's acting so menacing, My thing is that he hasn't been around. Maybe the cop, maybe he just got drunk somewhere. But he comes back and he's still in a harassing mood. He doesn't know anything about any of the killings. He's in a harassing mood. He's going after her. He's drunk. And he's following her around, right? In my ending. And she subdues him and kills the fucker in self-defense. Bill, having seen this, decides to play, the fool here and injures himself, much in the vein of Scary Movie 4. We don't really see it either. He comes out, some cuts, bruises, stumbles out, pretends to be hurt, and so, Bill, hooker attacked me. Play his little story like he did before as they go to leave. And, so then the cops would show up and take away, and we, end with a interrogation. Like, you want to tell us what happened? She goes, I don't know. She's like, I don't know what happened. It's one hell of a last night. He was killing everyone. I tell you what, it's one hell of a last night at work. Well, what do you mean? Well, they were closing the store down. From what we hear, Bill's going to keep it open. Seems like a very lucky man. And then you have that look, like, what? Wait. And then we cut. We can leave it ambiguous here, or we can cut to Bill. We leave it ambiguous. Like, something like, like, last night. Like, interrogate both of them. And then, like, the last night for work. Like, well, actually, that was his decision. Bill could keep it off if he wants. Or someone there representing it, or even Bill, he's like, she'll say to Bill, oh, it's one hell of a last night, and he's like, doesn't necessarily have to be. With Danny dead, I'm in charge again. I can keep it open. Like it's my lucky night. Something good to come out of all this. And then you can have a music sing or something. I'm not the best at writing stuff, but I'm just saying, leave it more ambiguous. Make it seem as if it was Craig, but then have a stinger that maybe it was Bill. I'm just saying. But I thought this movie was pretty good, actually. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's nothing spectacular, but I enjoyed it. So what are your thoughts on Intruder? What are your thoughts on my ending that I came up with? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.